Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you my new 16 Derwent Lightfast coloured pencils that I ordered. I do already have, I think there's, oh hold on, let me get those out. There. I do already have 15, so I'm going to be putting them all together, so I'll have a set of 31. So I'm going to be swatching them in my colour diary, my painter's colour diary, which you can just see there. And I'm going to be using the burnisher and the blender. So first of all, I'll be using the blender to get the best out of the pigment and move the pigment around on the paper, and then I will use the burnisher, which will seal that in. I think it's something that I've learnt that I never used to do, but it makes a big difference on what the colours look like, whether they are blended or not. So that's what I'm going to be doing. First of all, I need to get them in some kind of an order, so I'm going to move that out of the way, move those down here and get these new ones out. So this could be a fairly long video. I'm also going to try them on some black paper to see if that makes a difference. So you can see that these are all open stock that I've bought, and you know that because they've got these little barcodes on them, which will have to be peeled off. So let's just get all of these out and get them in a pleasing order. I picked Derwent Lightfast because these will be able to be used on original pieces of work that I want to sell. Sorry, just going to have a sip of my black coffee. It's actually really quite cold. I've just had to put my heating back on. Yesterday we had a power cut right in the middle of me cooking my beef and Stilton pie that I'd made. So that was a little bit disappointing. But never mind. Right, so let's see how we're going to start here. What colour is this? Arctic. That looks like probably the lightest. And then this is called Mist. And then we've got some mustards and yellows, so they can go next. Maybe we'll put them like that. Then orangey kind of colours. What have we got? We've got a few here. How do you sort yours? How, you know, colour wise? Do you do it like me, sort of go from white to yellow to orange to red to pink to purple to blue, that kind of thing? What have we got here? Oh, we've got two burnt siennas. I already had one. Okay, we'll leave one out then. So we will pop them like that. We've only got one red, so that can go there. Oops, that's moved. Well, these are very roly-poly, everyone. Okay. What colour is that? Dark honey. So that's not the same, is it? No, because that's sandstone. Perhaps we'll put it the other way around. I suppose I could go into the browns first. Natural brown and raisin. Raisin and then natural brown. That looks quite okay. Red. And then pink. Pink. colour is that? Oh, taupe. Perhaps we'll pop that one there. Then we can maybe go into some greens. So, foliage, lichen green. What's this one? Light bronze. Ooh, okay. Olive earth. We've got ivy. And what else have we got here? This looks like a... Well, that one's racing green. And maybe are these turquoise? You know, that's pine. Then we've got a turquoise green. We've got a dark turquoise. We've got a mid ultramarine, midnight blue, dark cyan, denim. What are these? Oh, that's another denim. Dark indigo. How did I do that? I managed to get two that I'd already got. Typical. And then we've got cloud grey. Okay, I think we are in some sort of order. And then that's my Derwent blender and Derwent burnisher. So I'll pop them over this side. Right, so let's... How am I going to do this? Where is this going to be seen? Maybe I might just have to move them up and out of the way a little bit more to get this in. Where are we? There we go, that'll be in. Right, and I need a pen to label them up. And we are starting with Arctic. Oh, I better put up here. Derwent Lightfast pencils. So let's have a go with Arctic, which is probably not going to show up too well on here. And then we are going to, where's my blender? Blend. Oh no, that shows up a bit more now. Oh. And then seal it in. Now, this is watercolour paper. So I'm not sure if this is the best kind of paper to do it on. Let's just have a little look. Oh. Let's try again. We'll start up here. Arctic. So that's what it looks like. Then we need to blend it. And then the burnisher. I was just interested to see what happens. So I'm wondering whether I should try these on some smooth paper as well. But there is our Arctic, which you can just about see on the white paper, hopefully. And there it is on the black paper. Let's just label that up so as we know what it was. Okay, so that's that one done. Now we're moving on to mist. Oh. I might try them on a smoother paper as well. So we need to blend. I wonder if you're supposed to clean this blender in between. Let's just do that anyway. Doesn't really seem to be making much difference on this watercolour paper. I'm going to get, this is some botanical ultra smooth paper, just out of interest. Let's pull a sheet of that out. Not sure what we've got on there. There we go. Let's just get rid of it. And just out of interest, I want to see. That was our first one. And that was our second one. Okay. So if I bring these up now, I hope you can see there is quite a bit of difference. Obviously, this paper in the colour diary has got some sizing. It's not in a particular pattern, but it is quite a large sizing there. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue doing them on both pieces of paper and just see what happens. So let's take our next colour then, which is yellow ochre. And then we need to blend. And burnish. That works quite differently. Yellow ochre, yellow ochre. But let's keep going. Next, we've got banana. Banana. So we need to I can really see that when I blend on this ultra smooth paper, it's very different to working on the watercolour paper. So I think on the watercolour paper you need to be prepared for whatever the colour looks like without being burnished, well, blended and burnished. So there is our banana, which is quite a lovely colour. Right, so what I'll do is I'll keep going through these. I won't keep bringing them up one by one, but I'll bring them up at the end. So this one is called Amber Gold. Ooh, that's lovely. What a cheerful colour, Amber Gold. I'm going to keep going with my blending and burnishing so that I'm doing the same thing for each one. So the blender should help get rid of what I might call the pencil marks, fill in the gaps, but obviously it's not doing that on this watercolour paper. And then the burnish just stops it from spreading further. It's like seals it in almost. So there is our Amber Gold. Then we have got Burnt Sienna. I do like adding pencils to my kits when I'm out and about, because I do also use them quite a lot in my everyday paintings. Let's just make sure that that's clean. I've already done a review on my Faber-Castell Polychromos. So this is my Derwent Lightfast, and I do have Caran d'Ache that I need to get ordered and in some kind of a, well, just tidied really. It says that I know what I've got. Otherwise, much like I've done here, I end up buying colours that I've already got, which we don't really want. Okay, sandstone. Now, Derwent Lightfast, I think, do these in 100 colours. Oh, that sandstone is very similar to burnt sienna. You probably wouldn't need both. If you're looking at my colours and thinking, what colours do I need? Go for one or the other. Right, that is our top row done. So I will just bring this top row up now for you to compare. So you can see Arctic there, Arctic just about, Mist. So this is two different papers that we're comparing. we've got banana, and that comes out so much nicer on the smooth paper. Amber gold, which just glows. That's a lovely colour. And then we've got burnt sienna and sandstone, which you can see are very, very similar. And here they are down the bottom. They are quite similar. So your choice as to which you would go for. Let me just quickly put those on here so that we can see what that top row is like. That's mist. Then we've got that's yellow ochre, and banana, amber gold. Where's our burnt sienna? There you are. And sandstone. Actually, to be fair, they look slightly different now that they are on the black. You do have to keep blowing, otherwise you get bits of dust from one going on to the next. So that's quite interesting, that although they look more or less the same on the watercolour paper and the which is, I think it's 300 GSM, I'm pretty sure, but when you compare it, so now if I bring these up, you can see burnt sienna and sandstone. If I can try and get them all in, there you go. Do look quite different. Burnt sienna is definitely more orangey, I would say. So there we go, that's our first row. Now let's move down to our second row. And we have got dark honey first. Write that on here. Dark honey. It's obviously got some yellow in it coming out. Oh, actually this time the blender has actually made a difference. You can see that on this one as well. It's like this one is made up of more than one pigment. Just clean that off, ready for the next colour, otherwise we'll contaminate. There we go. Now let's just seal that in. Oh, that's rather interesting. Dark honey. I'll bring it up when I've done the whole row. Then we have got raisin. That's how we go with raisin. Oh, that's making a difference. Maybe it's the darker colours then. It really does make a difference once you blend. Yeah, I can really see those kind of burgundy tones coming out. So although we didn't see much of a difference before, you can really see a difference. Let's just write raisin. I'll do it on the dark paper all together in a moment. Then we've got natural brown. Okay. There's my burnisher gone. Sorry, blender gone. Let me just get that raisin off of it. Maybe there's a better way of getting this blender clean. I'm just using a tissue, but there we go. Oh yes, I hope you can see this. This is really making a difference on these darker colours now when I use the blender. Does anyone know a good way of cleaning your, I don't know if you can see, but there's lots of brown left over. Must be a better way of doing it. Same thing with this burnisher. Maybe if you gently sharpen in between each one. Perhaps I'll try that in a minute. Trial and error, as they say. Right, so that was natural brown. Then we have got Derwent red, right. So in fact, because I duplicated two colours that I'd already got, instead of 31, we'll be down to 29, won't we? Okay, Derwent red, let's... Oh yeah, you can really, hopefully, let me just see if you can see the difference there. Yeah, you can, from where I'm using the blender and where I haven't used the blender. It really changes the colour. I didn't think it was making any difference on this watercolour paper, but it is. Even so, it's still nice to have the comparison between a smooth paper, or I suppose you would call it hot pressed paper, as opposed to cold pressed. I'll just burnish that now and seal it in. Okay, what have we got next? Cinnamon. This is a lighter colour, so we might not see any difference. It's a nice colour though. There's cinnamon. Yeah, this is my problem. Can you see the red on it? Sharpener. Let's see if that helps. What sharpener shall we use? I'm going to give this one a go and see what happens. Let's see if that... it hasn't really helped. I know I'm off camera. Let's just... But we will just sharpen both of them anyway. Right. So that was cinnamon, and we've got to burnish. Oh, sorry, blend. Gosh, all the bees. Then burnish. Yeah, you can't really see a great deal of difference on these lighter colours, I don't think. Next up, magenta. So let's try. Yep. Okay, you can really see the difference. The colour seems to come alive when you use the blender. Let's try and wipe that off, ready for next time. There we go. Right, changing to taupe. Or taupe. Depends how you say it, I suppose. Oh, I didn't write magenta down there. So let's see how... Oh, that looks like quite a nice, useful, neutrally brown. And So let me bring these up for some comparison. We have got dark honey, and there's the dark honey there. We've got, how are we going to do this? Raisin, natural brown, we've got Derwent red, cinnamon, we've got magenta, and taupe that I didn't write on the smooth paper. That's right, taupe. Okay, moving on into some greens now. Let's make sure we're still in shot. Lovely. So this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video, isn't it? But that's okay. So this colour is called Foliage. I forgot to do the black, didn't I? Black paper. Let's finish Foliage off and then we will do the black paper for those other colours. It's a gorgeous colour, Foliage. Right, let's pop that there. Right, so I should have 7 colours there to do. Right, let's start with, where is dark honey? Dark honey, let's put them in the same order. I don't know how many of you ever use dark paper, but then I need raisin. There it is. These do work quite well on, I'll burnish them all in a moment. They do work quite well on this black paper. Natural brown. Where's Derwent red? There you are. So I think these could be an option to use on black paper. And we need cinnamon. Magenta. And lastly, taupe. So let's just make it equal and do I think the only thing is when you blend on this black paper you get like a white edge from the blender. And if you don't wipe your blender, you get what I've just done with the taupe. You get a little bit of, oh, that's nice. That dark honey looks good on here. Actually, when you use the blender on the black paper, it gives it a shine. No, the burnisher, sorry. this burnisher that kind of seals everything in. It does give it a little bit of a shine. You might not like the shine. You might want to just blend rather than burnish. Okay, let me bring those colours up. Dark honey, raisin, natural brown, Derwent red, which is bright, 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 cinnamon, magenta, you can see what I mean by the white, and taupe. So that was that row on the black paper. Let's carry on with our greens now. We have got lichen green, or lichen. I call it lichen, but there we go. Which actually looks quite taupey and brown at the moment. Maybe that looks different once you've blended and burnished. So let's see. Oh, okay. Gosh, that's really an interesting colour. You can almost see some yellows and reds coming through. So this was lichen green. What's next? Light bronze. Now, because it looks like it's got a green end, I mean, I could have put this in completely the wrong place, but we'll see. Light bronze. Has it got a bit of a shimmer to it? I think it probably has. Okay, I think that one's got like a little bit of a kind of shimmer to it. Which I guess, if it's called bronze, would make sense. So, light bronze. And olive earth. Oh, I can see a greeny kind of tinge to this one. Olive earth. Let's do the blending first. And ivy. Well, that's a nice colour. There we go, that's ivy. Ooh. Yeah, I like that one a lot. ivy. Lovely. Racing green. Is this our last green? Nope, we've got one more, I think. So racing green. Oh, that looks very dark at the minute. We'll see what that looks like when I've blended it. I mean, it is nice, don't get me wrong. So racing green. Oh, yeah. This is really a bluey green. I can see blue hues in this. But yeah, rather than being just a very dark colour, you can actually see the green now that I've used the blender. Okay, and our final green is pine. So here we go with pine. Which looks quite similar to racing green at the minute, but perhaps once we have blended, I would have to say I think pine is slightly greener, but there's not a great deal of difference between the two. If you wanted to cut down on colours, you probably don't need pine and racing green. You could probably get away with one or the other. So that is pine. Right, let me bring this row up for a bit of comparison. So there we have our foliage. We have got, it's going to get harder, isn't it? Lichen green, light bronze, olive earth. We've got ivy. Hold on. Oh, this is a tricky thing to do. Then we've got, well, you can see racing green and pine are quite similar. Even when I bring them up, I will bring everything up properly at the end. You can see pine has just got a little bit more bluey green to it. Right. Oh, let's have another sip of my coffee. And we're moving on to, I'm going to turn these around now, some blues. Let's just make sure, there we go. So we have got, well, actually this is still a green, turquoise green. Ooh. Nice, love it. sharpen this again, I think. Where's my sharpener? There we go. So that was turquoise. Move you over there. Turquoise green, followed by dark turquoise. So which I'm pleased to say looks a very different colour. And then we need to see, that makes a big difference using the blender with that dark turquoise. It seems to make a difference with these darker colours. Then we move on to mid ultramarine. Which way round I do it, does it? There we go. Hasn't really made much difference there. Not a great deal anyway. What is next? Midnight blue. It's a dark colour, so I think the blender might make a bit of a difference. So, oh, yep. It looked almost like indigo, really, until I used the blender on it. I mean, I really just use my coloured pencils in a mixed media kind of format. I'm sure some of you are much better with your coloured pencils than I am. Dark cyan. See, that one just looks like indigo, does it not? So I'm sure that hopefully it will look different. Once we blend. Yep. I mean, look at the difference on the two sides. Ready? You get the blue just really comes out as soon as you use the blender. Right, what is next? We have just 3 left. Denim is next. That looks a bit like an indamp throne blue at the minute. I guess it does look more denim on the smooth paper. There we go. I'm hoping that you can see the difference that the blender is making. Then we have got dark indigo, which kind of looks like black at the minute. Yeah. So I think that's the thing to be, you know, when you look at the end of the pencil, it's not looking like the end of the pencil at all at the minute. So it's obviously important with some of the colours to use the burnisher right now. Now we can see that it's dark indigo. Amazing what a difference it makes. And our final colour is cloud grey. Oh, that one's broken. Can we keep going? No. Right. That's a bit disappointing for a very expensive pencil. Although I have to say, I got these. I should have said where I got them from, shouldn't I? Or the newest ones anyway, from the SAA, which is the Society for All Artists. And they were £2.16 each because they've got a sale on until the end of January. So I'm not sure if any of you are members of the Society for All Artists. You might want to look into it. There we go. Cloud grey. Let's try again. Cloud grey. And label that one up. Right, what I will do now, oh, I haven't done the rest of the black ones. Come along. Right, where are we? So, let's just complete these. That's foliage. Then we want lichen. Where is lichen? There you are. Then we need light bronze. Ooh. Oh, that comes up very metallic on this black paper. Followed by olive earth. There is olive earth. There you are. Ivy, where are you, Ivy? There you are. Racing green. That one's pine. There we go, racing green. Oh, you can't really see that one very well. And finally on that line, pine. So let's just the dark colours, the racing green and the pine, didn't really show up that well. Right, let's do the last few. Oh, this one was turquoise green. Where is dark turquoise? No, that's midnight blue. Dark turquoise. Followed by mid ultramarine and midnight blue. Yeah, these really dark colours are not showing up that well. Where is dark cyan? There you are. You wouldn't really want to be using these, I don't think. But for the purposes of this, we will keep striving forward. Then we need dark, whoops, indigo, and finally cloud grey. So decided to just use my finger to try and clean this burnisher off. Let me know if there's a better way. Gosh, it really does, this blender, sorry, really does leave white marks on this black paper. I'm not sure that. So does this burnisher. I guess we are able to see some of these darker colours a little bit more by doing this. Right, we now have everything, so I'm going to bring them all up. Right, there we go. Arctic, mist, yellow ochre, banana, amber gold, burnt sienna and sandstone. Then we have dark honey, raisin, natural brown, Derwent red, cinnamon, magenta and taupe. Foliage, lichen green, light bronze, olive earth, ivy, racing green and pine, turquoise green, dark turquoise, mid ultramarine, midnight blue, dark cyan, denim, and let's move it over, indigo, and finally cloud grey. So if we look at those as a set, you could probably get away with having either burnt sienna or sandstone. In fact, or dark, I mean, you might want to say, well, those three are quite similar. Dark honey, burnt sienna, sandstone. Maybe I only want one out of those three. Looking down, what else have we got that's fairly similar? Really, it's just the racing green and the pine, I think. I suppose you could go for, if I bring these up, dark cyan and indigo are fairly similar on this watercolour paper anyway. This is the 300 GSM watercolour paper. So now let's have a look on this smooth paper. Moving across. And there's our next row. And moving on down to, which one did I just do? Yeah, we need foliage, lichen. You can see light bronze has definitely got a shimmer on it. And moving across, and you can see how even on the smooth paper, racing green and pine are similar-ish. Turquoise green, dark turquoise, mid ultramarine, midnight blue, dark cyan, denim and dark indigo. You can see how dark cyan and dark indigo are very similar. cloud grey. So I think it's a similar kind, except on this smooth paper, the dark honey looks quite different really to the burnt sienna and the sandstone. So there is a little bit of a difference there. And now let's just have a little look at what happened with our black watercolour paper. So Arctic, Mist, Yellow Ochre, Banana, Amber Gold. You can see burnt sienna and sandstone, quite different colours. Moving down, we've got Dark Honey, Raisin, Natural Brown, Derwent Red, Cinnamon, Magenta and Taupe. And then we have got Foliage, Lichen, Light Bronze, Olive Earth, Ivy, Racing Green and Pine. Racing Green doesn't really show up that well. We've got Turquoise Green, Dark Turquoise, Mid Ultramarine. We have got Midnight Blue, Dark Cyan, Denim and Dark Indigo. And you can see that some of these, where are we, darker colours, if I hadn't have blended and burnished, you wouldn't really be able to see them that well. And then finally we've got our cloud grey. So there we go. That is my selection of Derwent Lightfast pencils that I've tested out on a couple of, well, 3 different lots of paper. And I also now have a record of what I have, so I won't be buying 2 of the same thing again, not knowing what it is that I've already got. So I think that's where this painter's colour diary comes in so handy. It is just a little bit time consuming when you're trying to keep a record of everything that you've got when you've got quite a lot of things. But there we go. That is it for this video, and I will see you next time with either my Beam paints, or we're looking at some watercolour papers and comparing those. So have a good morning, have a good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and take care.